talk about a heartbreaking way to start what should have been a really easy win for the Indian men's hockey team in the Asia Cup. I mean, that was a win that was there for the taking, yet last minute heartbreak.
Yeah, last minute, I think when you look at a game like this, you thought India cruising, and then, all, like, when you're putting the title also,
You were sure they were
I
winning,
had
yeah.
actually written that India win 1-0 against arch rivals Pakistan, but unfortunately I had to change it last minute because that goal.
From Abdul Rana, yes.
Uh,
And to be fair, it was a long time coming because after Karthi
Selvam, yes.
Selvam scored the first goal, India had a lot of chances, a lot of PCs which they just did not convert. So it was definitely not the ideal way to start things. And I don't know, with me personally, I mean, you watched a lot of sports like this, even in football, where the team is just a goal ahead.
Yeah.
And the other team will keep attacking, and you're like, okay, I think there's a goal coming here.
No, we have seen that in the Champions League this season.
Oh, God, yes.
But let's talk about hockey for a moment. I feel India would definitely feel hard done by because they really thought they had the points in the bag, defending champions, and now it's also a second string side, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that maybe it's the same team as the Olympics bronze medal team, but no, it's not. There are
they've picked
lot
the
of new
second-
faces.
yes.
Yeah, a lot of players who have come through the ranks to the junior World Cups. So yeah, I think it'll be a learning lesson for them also because you thought they should have won this game.
Yeah.
They must have thought that, oh, it's done, only a minute to go. But that is what shows you what all can change in a moment's time.
So Sarthak Cycle, to answer your question, why haven't they sent their best side? It's because this is keeping in mind preparation for the Commonwealth Games later this year, where originally the plans were also to send a second string side because they wanted to use that tournament as preparation for the Asian Games. Of course, we don't know exactly what the case will be now because the Asian Games got
have been
cancelled
postponed.
or postponed, but yes.
So the thing is, the three teams, the teams that finish first, second, and third here in this tournament will qualify for the World Cup.
Yes.
That's the giveaway from this tournament, and India sent a second string side also because they are the host nation for that World Cup.
Exactly. They're not worried about qualification.
They don't really have to worry about qualification at all. So that is why they sent a second string side. Yes, the captain, Rupinder Pal Singh, would have been the captain for this team.
If he was
but
injured in the
unfortunately,
last
he had a wrist injury during the training and everything that was going on, the preparations before this tournament. And Birendra Lakra, he also came back from retirement. Then he was chosen as the captain in place of Rupinder Pal Singh because he was a vice captain. SV Sunil, who had also retired, he's also playing. He's a live wire on the field as we kept talking about. He's always running forward. That way it's good, but unfortunate in the way India lost this game because you would have thought they had it in the bag for the longest
Yeah, I mean,
time.
it was a major, it's a... Draw.
Draw.
We know.
My bad. It felt like a loss. It felt like a loss.
Yes, as is being pointed out by our colleague Arun, it wasn't in fact a loss, it was a draw.
It felt like
but
a
it
draw.
does feel like a loss because that felt like it was an easy win in the bag. They created so many chances. They had quite a few PCs. And again,
And you saw they were missing somebody like a Harmanpreet, right? Because of the way you saw the penalty corner, sometimes they would not even stop the ball properly at the circle, and that was a problem with both India and Pakistan for that matter.
Yeah, Pakistan themselves had a few howlers when it came to
Yeah,
the penalty
Pakistan also
corners.
had a few chances, by the way, and they did not convert them in the first 3 quarters and took it right till the end. But it's true that it does feel like a loss, especially when you have sort of led all the way through till the 69th minute.
No.
Almost. 1 minute 6 seconds were left on the clock before Pakistan scored.
You thought, okay, you could have seen that out and that's it. They had to see that penalty corner out. I think it was game 1, simple as. But unfortunately, that one penalty corner was what... Yeah, and I agree with you, Manish. We are missing a good direct fielder.
As I said, there's no Harmanpreet also. That way, this is not the best Indian side that they have sent to Indonesia. It's a second string side. A lot of key names missing, including Manpreet Singh and everybody who won. You saw, but by the way, Suraj Karkera also we have to applaud him because of the number of saves he made.
Absolutely.
This game could have been different also in a way where Pakistan could have actually gone on and taken the lead earlier. But the Indian goalkeeper managed quite a few saves.
I think this is one match where both goalkeepers actually go with a lot of credit in their bank. Because even the Pakistani goalkeeper, there were few penalty strokes which they actually did manage to get a shot away.
Yeah.
Penalty corners, sorry, where they did manage to get a shot away. and he managed to either deflect it off the top, or they did, of course, end up missing a few.
You know, but I thought India's defense in that fourth quarter had sort of slacked off.
Yeah,
There was
yeah,
a
yeah.
very long ball, by the way, before the goal even happened. Before I actually went to the washroom, I came back and I realized they have scored a goal. That was unfortunate. I think so. I should have just sat there.
Yeah,
probably.
you probably jinxed it.
Yeah, but the thing is, before I left for the washroom, I saw this one ball that was played from, I think so, the Pakistan.
Pretty much the defense.
From
Yeah.
pretty much their own circle or
Yeah.
something, and it went towards India's circle, and they could not stop it. I thought that played a role, and definitely the defense lagged off, and we did miss a few key names there. Now you know why it's not the best Indian team there. And
Yeah, absolutely.
The kind of
And I
performance
think
we
this
had,
is the
that
kind
shows.
of it's a learning curve for these guys for sure.
It's
So
a
I
learning
think-
curve, but the quality of hockey that we got used to in the Olympics, what we
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
against
yeah.
Germany when we beat them 3-0 and 3-1 recently in the Pro League, I think
This was lacking, for sure.
It was not a usual spicy India-Pakistan affair that you expect from these two teams, especially the fact that we have been arch rivals. Pakistan, in fact, have a better record against India in head-to-head. Let's take a few questions because there are lots
Quite a
of
few
them.
people are asking some questions.
Sarthak Sehgal is making that same point that we were
Yeah.
talking about, that Suraj Karkera was really good, and even the Pakistani goalkeeper had a good game. Chirag Chug is saying, do you think what type of changes in strategies for next matches? What changes for penetrative penalty corner? I think that is what they'll
They
talk
were
about.
missing, yeah.
And by the way, Sardara Singh, who's currently the coach of this
yeah.
team, has been there for the longest time in terms of a player. He was the captain of the side back in the day. Was a really good midfielder.
Oh, yeah.
And he's one of my favorite players, you know. And the thing is that I'm sure he's going to talk to the team and talk about how they've not converted penalty corners. In fact, the times they tried different things with the penalty corners, they also did not work.
Oh yeah, in fact, it made them look very bad on the field because it was not coming off whatever it was they were trying. And so, yeah, I think that is something that's an area of concern. But again, I think we also must not lose sight of the fact that this is a team that is very much not the best 11 that they're
And
playing.
that's fair because you know they've already they know they don't have to worry about qualification
Correct.
for the next year World Cup, and then you know the biggest priority right now for this Indian team would be winning that Commonwealth Games gold.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that is in a few days' time. That way.
Few months, I think
Months.
July.
Yeah, so a few days only. In terms of preparations, I am sure they are looking at sending their best side for the Commonwealth Games. But this tournament, even though we are the defending champions, they sent a second string side because they really don't think it really matters in terms of what the achievement is going to be.
Yeah,
at
I mean,
end
if
of
the
day.
focus is World Cup qualification, I mean, you know, they've already achieved that. So in that sense, they can use this to experiment a bit, maybe expand the talent pool. Maybe that's the focus.
Yeah.
Because we know for a fact that, you know, these guys are, of course, Olympic bronze medalists. They played very well in Tokyo 2020. So it's not like this is suddenly a team that's become poor.
But
It's
quite,
simply
quite a
case
few
of-
names, and by the way, even Karthi Selvam, the guy who scored the goal for India, is a debutant. He's a 20-year-old.
Correct.
So a lot of youngsters getting opportunities that way, and that's good for the game. That's good for India to have a pool of players. Because how long can our big stars? You already saw that Rupinder Pal Singh retired. He had to come back from retirement, even though he got injured eventually and could not participate in this tournament. Even Birendra Lakra had announced his retirement. SV Sunil had announced his retirement.
Correct.
So it's the young guns that India is looking forward to. And for that to happen, you need to have a pool of players. And how we'll know that players can perform under pressure? That is through tournaments like these.
Exactly.
And even though India are the defending champions, it came as a little surprise for a lot of people that India did not send their best side. But with Commonwealth Games coming in some time, I think that is always going to be their priority.
Of course, because multi-nation events is always something. It's always the best place for them to show their mettle. So I think they'll be okay, and I think you'll actually see improved performances from the team as the tournament wears on.
Yeah, you saw. See the Pro League that India have been playing. There they have been sending their better teams,
Yeah.
and you know that we defeated Germany recently. We are, in fact, if I'm not wrong, top of the table. So we have been doing well. It's just that for this tournament, don't expect a lot from this Indian side. But yeah, it should not be like that. Boss, we are not even able to defeat even smaller teams that you think we should win against.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this was, as I said, though, will be very much a learning
Yeah,
experience.
Shivanshu is saying missing Rupinder Pal Singh. Yeah,
Absolutely.
another guy who would have taken the penalty corners. Harmanpreet not there, Rupinder Pal not there. So it's been an area of concern for them, and we saw it today again that Did not happen. Sarthak is saying India aim should be beating Australian Commonwealth Games.
Absolutely.
That's
That
the
is
game.
the major aim.
That is probably going to be for me the gold medal match.
Yes.
Most probably. But let's see. It could change because if India or Australia lose one of them, they could even face each other in the semi-finals for all you know. So that would be a problem. Sarthak was also pointing out to the fact that he believes the body language was not good for them.
Yeah, I think after a point, because as I said, young team, inexperienced a tad, they did seem to kind of, as Pakistan grew more and more into the game, they did kind of retreat back into their shells just a tad. That's not the best of look, but again, that's something you do kind of expect, out of a young side who are lacking a bit of experience. I think that's something that you can't just, it doesn't come overnight. That is something that they will learn over time. And in fact, them conceding that last minute goal and dropping 3 points, dropping 2 points is actually going to be a good learning call for them in that regard.
And Manish, completely agree with you. Yes, our top drag flickers weren't there, and that proved to be decisive in the end because India did get a lot of penalty corners. The last time I checked, it was at least 6 or 7 penalty corners we got, and we only we missed quite a few of them. And probably the conversion would have been much better if somebody like a Harmanpreet or even a Rupinder Pal Singh was there. And let's see. Pavan Dankara is saying, good to watch hockey news from you guys from Melbourne. Well,
thanks for the love from Melbourne.
You can also download the SportsTak app.
Every time you say it, Arun. My good friend Arun, by the way, is saying that download the SportsTak app because you'll get news about all kinds of sports and all the latest news and updates will be there on the app for
Download the
you.
app. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, and also you'll get to watch our interdepartmental matches that keep taking place. Pavan is saying India will aim for the Commonwealth gold. Yeah, absolutely, but beating Australia is no easy feat, and also we'll have to see what kind of team even Australia sends, by the way. But I think that Commonwealth gold is India's biggest priority, and believing how difficult Australia are for India to beat them, it'll be a tough task, but never say never. Tanmay Mishra, इस तरह जीतेंगे एशियन गेम्स में shambolic performance by Indian goalkeeper and being casual in the closing minutes. हम consistent नहीं है. Penalty corner conversion rate is poor.
That's fair, but it's also harsh because as we keep saying, it's a young team. They're not going to all fall into place immediately.
And then, by the way, Suraj Kakeda had a good game. Yes, it sort of ended down to that one goal, 1 minute at the end where they conceded. But you have to say he had a great game before that.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's all about learning this the hard way. Love Rami, what about tonight's Sports Today show? When will all you Musketeers coming live?
Well, soon enough, actually.
Actually, we should be coming there in about 5-10 minutes.
Anytime now.
I think so. Yeah, it'll be Shane, me, Nikhil Bhai, and even Rahul Rawat. So all 4 of us will be there. We'll be there to discuss who's gonna be the next IPL champion, probably.
And of course,
Shivanshu, yes, rightly pointed out that Asian Games are postponed.
they have been postponed.
They have been postponed right now because there have been quite a few COVID cases in China, and that has put sort of cast a shadow on the tournament. So right now it's not happening, and we still don't know
when exactly it will happen. We just know it's been postponed.
It could actually go to next year also, as we saw with the Olympics. And even the Euros, by the way. So Sarthak Sehgal, my favorite is F1 update by Mr. Shane Dias.
Thank you.
Waiting for your video on Mercedes Red Bull Ferrari car. Yes, you did promise them a video.
Yeah, that will come soon.
By the way, I've got a sneak peek of that video in a way because he explained the entire the specifics of the 2 cars to me.
Yeah.
So that's good. Shane, you should actually do that.
I should, but of course don't forget,
your family.
Yeah, of course, for you guys, anything, but also don't forget the Asia Cup rolls on because India's next match is in fact tomorrow itself.
Yeah.
It's India versus Japan, and that's also going to be coming your way 5 p.m.
And the Japanese team today, by the way, won 9-0. 9-0 against Indonesia. So they dominated their game as well.
They were looking very free flowing.
India will need a good game against them at least.
For sure.
So anyway, we'll get them more updates.
Oh yes, for sure. Don't forget to be joining us, tomorrow as well as every other day for, updates beyond that.
By the way, you know who's the player of the match for this game?
Who's it?
It's the Pakistani goalkeeper Hussein Akmal.
He did have a very good game, as I said.
Yeah, made quite a few saves, kept the penalty corners out. You saw so many balls, that were hit towards him. He managed to put them over the bar. So that way, great game for him and deservingly got the Man of the Match award. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys. Yes, Vinay Pratap Singh, we are coming live in some time. And Sarthak, India versus Japan is definitely a mouth-watering clash.
Can't wait for it.
Especially with the way Japan have been playing recently.
Yes.
Asian Games champion also that way. So
Anyway,
okay.
Bye-bye. Thank
See
you for
you guys.
joining us.